Hello, my name is Rich Howard, owner of Architectural Builder Supply. In this video is to bring you a closer look at the Yale number 14-5401-1642-999 lever return spring for the inside of the 6400 series, what they call a monolock. This video will serve as visual and dimensional evidence of the item. The thickness of the spring, 0.16. I would say that the wire thickness of the spring would be 0.041, and an outside diameter, just for the sake of taking that information. And the Yale monolock is a retrofit lock for Corbin, Russwin, and Yale locks. Those locks were called unit locks or pre-assembled locks. That diameter is 2.218. 2.218. And so right here, 2.218. And those locks were popular several decades ago. And the reason I understand that they were popular is because they were incredibly robust, took a very simple preparation in the door, and were very simple to install. All of the parts are contained. I think the logic of them was, here's a lock, attach it to the door, you're done. There's no adjustments to make whatsoever. No, escutcheons to thread on. Obviously there'd be a couple of screws, I'd imagine. But the fact of the matter is, they were very well liked. They were marketed because of how simple they were to install and how incredibly robust they are. Evidenced by the fact that decades later they're still out there in existence. And the 6400 LN is meant to be a retrofit, apparently, because those doors are out there and they're still prepped for these unit locks or pre-assembled locks or mono locks. And this video is really to serve as visual and dimensional evidence of the spring itself. There is a link below this video to the manufacturer's page where you can pull up not only all of the Yale products that we sell, but also a link to the manufacturer's website, as well as a link to the full product catalog. If you are interested to learn more about that monolock, that link to the manufacturer's page to the product catalog, you'll certainly be able to search 6400 LN and come across that information regarding it. I don't believe I've actually ever seen one in person, but I know that they're out there. Interesting fact about that link to the manufacturer's page, there are several historical catalogs from Yale or Yale in Town. They used to be in partnership with Henry R. Town, who was a seminal figure in the history of hardware during the late 19th century, maybe the very earliest 20th century. He wrote a treatise on hardware, and it being a guide, the treatise he wrote was a guide to architects. Here's hardware. This document will help you specify it, is what I understand, and you can find that as a scanned Google document. Because of the age of the document, you'll be able to find that out there. I don't know that printed copies are easy to come by, but I imagine that they probably are. Interesting fact about the Yale company is that they basically invented the modern pin tumbler cylinder. Pin tumblers. Tumblers are the piece within a lock that defines the construction of the type of lock that it is and permits the movement between the key and the bolt. So the tumbler is crucial. You have different types of different tumblers. Disc tumblers, wafer tumblers, lever tumblers, pin tumblers. And the pin tumbler lock was actually the first people to use that type of construction of a pin tumbler lock, where it was actually the Egyptians 4,000 years ago. Well, fast forward to 1841, and Linus Yale Jr. gets a patent for the pin tumbler cylinder, and it is the cylinder that 160 years later we're still using, and it's been developed and entrenched and has no I don't believe it has any end in sight. So interesting fun fact about the Yale company. Any questions on the 14-5401-1642-999 lever return spring? And they're sold as each. This client happened to buy 6. Or any other Yale product, please feel free to reach out to us. And thank you.